Process and steps in urine formation. Formation of urine. Urine is firstly formed in the kidneys through a filtration of blood. The urine is then passed through the ureters to the bladder, where it is specifically stored. During urination, the urine is passed from the bladder through the urethra to the outside of the body. Formation of urine in humans is about 1 to 1.5 liters of urine that are formed each day. Here's a picture of the external urinary sphincter, the urinary bladder, the ureter, the sacral region of the spinal cord, and the pons. Also at the top is the cerebrum, which obviously is the one that starts it because it sends signals down to the spinal cord and activates the contraction of the bladder. The picture on the right-hand side shows how the bladder is filling up. The detrusor muscle relaxes, the urethral sphincter contracts, and the pelvic floor as well. Next is the first to void, where the bladder is half full. The urination voluntarily is inhibited this time. Next is the normal desire to void. As you can see, the bladder is completely full, so the urination process begins. Urinating is also called maturation, and at this time the pelvic floor relaxes. Glomerular filtration is the first step in making urine. It is a process that your kidneys use to filter excess fluid and waste products out of the blood into the urine collecting tubules of the kidney, so they may be eliminated from your body. The beginning process starts with the filtrate in the glomerulus. The glomerulus is a network of capillaries encased in a thin double wall capsule called the Bowman's capsule. Surrounding the inside is the Bowman's space. As blood travels through the capillaries, a lot of plasma spill out and filter through them, consisting of 3 layers of the fenestrated endothelium. It's shaped like a honeycomb with large pores. The second one is a shared basement membrane, and the last one is the filtration slits formed by epitheliopodocytes. This allows some particles to pass through, but not all, leaving behind larger substance in the glomerulus, which will be moved to the efferent arteriole. This is caused by the increase of blood pressure due to the dramatic decrease in the vessel size. Restriction of the size causes the pressure to build up and move particles through the filtration membrane. Smaller substance in Bowman's move to the kidney tubules. Depending on the body's needs, substances can be reabsorbed or removed as waste, like particles such as electrolytes, glucose, fatty acids, amino acids, nitrogenous waste, and vitamins. Blood cells and plasma do not normally pass through filtration membranes. Here's a picture of the afferent arterioles, the efferent arterioles, the glomerular capillaries, the glomerular capsule, the rest of the renal tube, the peritubular capillaries, Tubular reabsorption is a process by which the nephron removes water and solutes from the tubular fluid and returns them to the circulating blood. Substances are reabsorbed from the tubule into the peritubular capillaries. Involved are the loop of nephron and proximal convoluted tubule, otherwise known as PCT. First, the PCT has water, sugar, such as glucose, amino acids, ions such as sodium and chlorine, are reabsorbed back into the body via the peritubular capillaries. Sodium is a key in movement. It sets up the concentration gradients. Chlorine tends to follow the sodium because it is negative and it's attracted to the positive charged sodium. Glucose reabsorbs here as well. The nitrogenous waste are partially absorbed, but a significant portion remained in the filtrate. Most of the water is reabsorbed back here and follows sodium through the osmosis. Nephron loop is reabsorbed some water and sodium and aids the collecting duct in conserving the water. The DCT, the distal convoluted tubule, also absorbs small amounts of water. The U-shaped structure is the loop of Henle. It has 2 parts: the descending limb, which is the tubular reabsorption of water, and the ascending limb, the reabsorption of the sodium and chlorine ions. After the loop of Henle, it leads to the distal convoluted tubule, the DCT, which is a secretion of ammonia, hydrogen ions, potassium ions, and drugs. The urine enters collecting ducts, and this is the last part of the tubular reabsorption of water. Dilution or concentration of urine occurs here as well. And here's another drawing that is used with the process of urine formation. Tubular secretion extracts chemicals from the blood and then secretes them into renal tubules. This process occurs throughout the tubules. Hydrogen ions are removed to help maintain the pH control. Additionally, nitrogenous waste, potassium, and some drugs can also be removed. Water conservation is the final step in the urine formation and occurs primarily in the collecting duct. Multiple nephrons empty into the collecting duct. Once the filtrate has entered the collecting duct, it is considered urine. As the collecting duct passes through the renal medulla, water is reabsorbed to further concentrate the urine up to 4 times its original concentration. Stretch receptors send action potentials down the sensory neurons, carries on to the motor neuron, and causes the smooth muscle to contract. Another action potential from sensory neuron will be sent to the spinal cord to the motor cortex of the cerebrum. Another action potential with motor input sent to another motor input to open the 2 sphincters, the internal, composed of smooth muscle, and the under, involuntary control, and external sphincter under voluntary control. As the smooth muscle-lined urinary bladder contracts, the urinary sphincter opens and allows urine to pass through the urethra. Thank you for watching.